On the news tonight, correspondent on special assignment takes a look at the work of a soldier and religious commitments. Plus, fallen performances of Nigerian athletes at international competition, causes and way forward. Details of these and more on our news highlights. Good evening. I am Erika Ivi. Now the news in details. It is general knowledge that Nigerian Armed Forces is saddled with the responsibility of preserving and protecting the territorial integrity of the country, also showing high patriotism in the discharge of its duties. However, while in active service, especially as military combatants, the task to fulfill its mandate becomes more difficult in the face of insurgents and other challenges. Oftentimes, people ask the question, does God answer the prayers of the members of the armed forces? Considering the nature of their work, correspondent in this report examines the opinion of people with regards to soldiers' religious commitments. At one point or the other, the military is celebrated in the country, and their labor of love is remembered every January 15 of each year. The day is to commemorate the sacrifices paid by Nigerian soldiers in keeping the frontiers of the nation, while also praying for them and their families.
God is a field marshal, so he's one of us. Are you surprised? Even in the angels in heaven are stratified the way we are stratified. So he's one of us.
It's a day we reflect on those that sacrifice their lives and pay the ultimate price, the supreme price.
Their responsibilities, their engagement in terms of territorial boundary security is indeed why we are existing as Nigeria, and their sacrifices over the years must continually be commended and also complemented with support, with necessary solidarity and prayers.
Sometimes people say it beats human imagination with the thought that, is it possible for soldiers to pray and have answers from God, especially with the nature of the attacks of fighting insurgents in other nations, in the process shedding blood?
They are very useful and important to the society, and as a government, we owe them a duty to reach out to them in a time of need.
The military, they were all created by God, so they can serve God better. Before they kill, they don't just kill anyhow. They kill because those people are distractors that don't want the peace of the country. They are also fighting and kill the innocent ones. So while on the battlefield, they are doing their job.
Some respondents maintain that soldiers are human beings. Hence, their personal relationship with God, in spite of adversity, is important, as they have no personal grudges with their victims.
God answers their prayer. They are also human beings like us. We all pray and God answers. They also pray.
They are fighting and protecting lives and property, but they need God more.
Members of the society are encouraged to show solidarity to the armed forces, their families in prayers, and other assistance for optimal performance and better society. In Calabar, Erika Ivi, Nta News. The dwindling fortune of Nigeria athletes in international competitions, especially in the sports 200 meters and winter miles, is generating concern among coaches and other sport enthusiasts. They express the belief that the glory days can be returned with a proper program and implementation plan by government, as well as athletes making the necessary sacrifice. Sport correspondent Paul Abel reports.
It was the time Nigeria ruled Africa and made impact at the global stage in men and women races in 100, 200, 400 meters and relays, with the Ezinwa brothers, Chidi Imo, Choma Ajunwa, Mary Oyale, Palilaton Kukoya, blazing the trail and dominating affairs on the track. But of recent, it has been a different tale, with the exit of Blessing Okagbare and the exploits of Tobi Amusu. Less is heard of Nigerian sprinters these days. What are the factors contributing to the demise of world beaters in Nigerian athletics?
They know the right thing. Since the last Olympics, they have not done anything. Okay, look at now. Few months to the Olympics. Olympics August. Athletes are supposed to be in camp. Now we are training the athlete individually now. Training grants need to give to the athletes for them to prepare in other countries. They move and go for the camp.
Most time the athletes need money. They need money to buy supplements, right, that will enhance their performance, not to use steroids, I mean supplements, vitamins. They need sponsors. Government can jump in. Individually, companies can jump in to assist. Because without money in athletics, you cannot excel, you can't go to anywhere. We need support from, even churches can come in and say, okay, this is a token that we have. Add to government, add to individual.
What is the role of stakeholders and prospects of bringing back the good old days?
Right now, the athletics as a whole, we are putting in our best, try to get there, because we as an athlete, we put 100% effort to make sure when we get to the competition venue, we can be able to get to the podium. But right now, with God on our side and the help of the new Minister of Sports, I think the sky will be our limit, because Nigerians are ready.
Early preparation is the key of success. That is why here we start preparing them ahead of time.
Just to make them stay away from sickness. Because if you're sick, even if you are at the peak of your shape, because of malaria, it will drop. So you have to take good food, balanced diet, to be able to train well. Another thing is rest. You must have to rest. Without rest, you cannot do well in sports. If you don't have put those things in place, they cannot excel. You understand? Another thing too, in Nigeria, when the athletes sustain injury, they will hands off. So if the government can intervene in any point in time an athlete sustain injury, they will now jump in and at least produce drugs or take them to hospital that can really take care of the injury. All the other athletes will be encouraged. So when others are seeing that other ones that have sustained injury, that nothing is being done, they will back off. Some of them leave the country and nationalize in other countries. That's the way forward we can put in to make sure our athletes can be like the champions over there.
Just as in football, where Nigeria is trying to find a feed back to winning ways, sports enthusiasts are hopeful when Nigerian athletes will dominate the tracks again. In Calabar, Paul Abel, NTA News.
Away from that, Nigeria is participating at the ongoing Winter Youth Olympic Games in Gwangwon, South Korea, making the first ever appearance of the nation in the history of the Winter Youth Olympics. With a delegation of 6 athletes competing in the challenging sport of curling, Minister of Sport Development, Senator John Owaneno, commends the history-making youth lads and promises commitment to enhancing profile of all sports. The report is here presented.
Nigeria has not only broken new ground for itself, but also become the first African nation to qualify for the Winter Youth Olympics. Under the visionary leadership of the Honorable Minister of Sports Development, Senator John Owaneno, Nigeria has reached a historic milestone by venturing into the world of winter sports. This achievement adds yet another feather to the cap of Senator John Owaneno, showcasing his dedication to fostering excellence and inclusivity in Nigerian sports. Nigeria now joins the ranks of pioneers to bring the spirit of determination and passion to a sport that defies geographical expectations. Nigeria's journey in curling began in 2018 when the country became the first African member of World Curling, setting the stage for the emergence of new talent in this challenging discipline. The subsequent qualification for the Winter Youth Olympic Games is a testament to Nigeria's commitment to expanding its footprint in winter sports. The minister appreciates Mr. Damola Daniel, the president of the Nigerian Curling Federation, for steering the federation towards the right path, as he stated that the ministry is dedicated to enhancing the pedigree of sports in the country.
This is how far we go for our news highlights. Thanks for watching and remain blessed. I am Erika Evie. Good night.